Hello everybody and welcome back to our Pacific Alliance of Collegiate Gamers Overwatch broadcast. We are coming to you guys live from the historic Einar Nielsen Fieldhouse at the University of Utah campus in Salt Lake City. We just got done watching the replay from last week of USC and Oregon, and before that we had the live matches between Oregon and Utah, University of Utah. Yes. Great matches, both of those things. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the rundown was for today.
Yeah, I guess obviously that match that we had first tonight there at 7 o'clock was the Utah versus Oregon match. Utah coming out on top on that one. Coming up with a 3-0 score, Oregon going down to 0-2. Still a very good chance here for Oregon, though. They can still come out on top on this one. And we had that replay, obviously. One of the best games that we've
so close.
We've
the
had.
Closest game without
the closest game that we've had. One of the best games that we've had really throughout this whole series. And now, coming up soon, as we get everything set up, we're going to have Arizona versus UCLA. We can go ahead and look at those player standings now.
I am so excited for this matchup, Zader. On the side of UCLA, we've got Raxa on DPS, the infamous Raxa, followed up by Pip, the Tracer God himself. Tseng is going to be coming in on a healer. Juggernaut and Sareku, the duo tanks. Reinhardt and Zarya stereotypically, and another Dax on support as well, with Lieutenant Sox being their flex support player.
Yeah, and then ASU coming out with their very set roster. I would like to say.
No sub roster.
No subs, no nothing. They're very confident in what their roster is. We've got Chumcha and Amadian. Amadian? I'm going to say Amadian. They're on the DPS. Spades being their flex player, usually playing tank though. We've seen him play a lot of Reinhardt, I believe. And then we've got Chronodota there as the other tank. And then we've got Chris and DJ Dobro sitting on the healers, support players, both very good players as well. DJ Dobro playing a lot of Lucio, I believe.
DJ Dobro on the Lucio. He's got the boops of the century.
Got the boops.
Just slaughters folks. And then Spades is going to be the flex player.
Yeah.
The matchups, it's going to be intense. This is going to be probably the most intense game that we've casted, even more so than Oregon versus UCLA that you guys just finished seeing. I am so excited to cast this, Zader. Who do you think are going to be the impactful players, and what roles, what positions? How do you think this is going to be playing out?
I'm rooting for ASU here, really, honestly. I think ASU has very strong team. They're very set. Like I said, they don't really have any substitutes. They have very strong teamwork. They all know each other. They all play very well with each other. They've been practicing for quite a while. They're another one of those TESPA teams that I've been talking about that did really well there. They also played at DreamHack and all of that. So I think ASU has a really good chance here against UCLA. Obviously, UCLA does have those strong players.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like, going off of what you were saying, ASU, they're an established team. They've gone to professional competitions, like you were saying with the DreamHack. But on the counter for UCLA, they have got just some enormously large names on it that just pop off every single game they're in. But they do have some faltering with the rest of their teams. They kind of have to pick up the slack and stuff like that. So they kind of balance out in the middle with their really highs and their really lows, and they find somewhere in the middle. I feel like everyone for ASU is like 80%. So I think ASU is just a little bit above, but at the same time, if those two people up there can pick it up even higher, then it could be 90% to 80%, and UCLA can just they could beat ASU, which has not happened so far in this tournament.
I think you're right there. UCLA,
if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be UCLA.
I think if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be UCLA. That and Utah does have a chance. Obviously, we've struggled against them, but I think Utah is another one of those teams that can beat ASU. But ASU, definitely one of the strongest teams here, and I think I have a little bit of a handout for them. But looks like we have the first map that we're going to go ahead and play on today. Kings Row.
Kings Row Station. Oh, Kings Row. I think moving into this, UCLA is slightly favored simply because I know, take a shot, Raxa plays Widowmaker, and this is a fabled Widowmaker map.
Yeah.
You can say that ADHD, he plays Widowmaker as well, but yes, he does, and he does a very good job. But simultaneously, he's not Raxa. I mean, we've seen Raxa fall before, so I think it's just going to come down to, there's just so many factors that are going to be coming into play right here. This is why I think this matchup is just going to be phenomenal for you guys.
I think this is going to be really great. We have just seen so much phenomenal play here coming into the later weeks of this PACG tournament, and all these teams really have settled down and become very strong teams altogether.
Established, really.
Very established. So I'm really excited kind of to see how this one plays out, because we honestly haven't seen too much of UCLA or ASU as far as official matches go. Both of them have I believe, only played one game. one official match. The rest of them has been really show matches, which really doesn't showcase exactly how they play as a team and exactly how strong they can be when you know that score really matters. You know, it's kind of a little bit more of a fun sort of testing sort of route.
The mentality in it is totally different than with an actual like league match. But I feel like UCLA specifically hasn't had much opportunity to truly show their skills. I feel like the teams that they've been matched up against, they've had 2,000, 1,500 SR differences. Like, UCLA hasn't had a true test of their skills so far. Right. They've kind of steamrolled everyone that they've gone up against. And at the same time, so is ASU. So I feel like these two right here, I'm not sure how they're going to play out because these are the two big contenders that they're finally capable of clashing against. These are the two big names in their division in my mind. This is just going to be the match to watch.
This is definitely one of. I think this is also the match to watch as well. It's going to be. I think it's just going to be. I think it might either rival or be better than that Oregon versus USC
or could
match
be a
that
raffle
we had
stomp.
watched.
We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could go one way or the other. Like I said, we haven't seen either of these teams play in this kind of more stressful scene. I'd assume,
on the more stressful Kings Row too.
On the more stressful
Kings Row is aneurysm-inducing.
I mean,
I
really,
promise you that.
I agree with you. At Kings Row, I really don't like the map, and I play a whole lot of Widow recently, and just like a whole lot of hitscan just in general. So like, I'm taking the high ground. I love high ground and everything. Kings Row has all of that, but I just despise the map. I don't like how it works. Just the layout of it is just really weird to me, and I don't like the very linear progression that you have once you unlock that.
There's very few corners. It's like literally 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, it's just a big like L-shaped snake. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at that. We've got that awesome statue defending the first point. There's the first corner right there after you get the payload. I guess if you want to count that the first corner, there's a little early one, but. Awesome map. Definitely a difficult one for either team, whether you're offense, defense, whatever. It's just difficult. I feel like Arizona State may be at a little bit of a disadvantage because this seems to be the one map that University of Utah was able to take against them, or actually get progression.
I believe so as well.
Golden weapons on both sides, by the way.
Golden weapons on both sides, and some interesting skin choices. I love the Sonya for the Barbarian.
The Nova
Zarya there.
for Chum Chai Latte. With the golden
actually,
weapon.
That's the Kerrigan skin. New. It's not Nova. Nova has blonde hair.
Oh, you're right. That is Sarah Kerrigan. And I'm a StarCraft 2 pro. I should know that. Chrono Dota getting on top of the point right away. Countered by Juggernaut behind that Orisa shield. Chum Chai trying his best. And Chris actually boots off Juggernaut right there. A good clean pick from Arizona to start things off. And Chum Chai as well, getting some good counter shots.
Chum Chai doing a very good job picking off the key players. Looking at Raxa now. Looking for something. Raxa has a lot of people on him. Not going to be able to hold that. ASU sweeping UCLA off that point, honestly. DJ Dobro getting a lot of picks there at the end. Gonna have this ultimate. Oh, Chum Chai, you missed it.
Interesting to see Raxa not take the Widowmaker. Then again, it is defense. A lot more difficult to take Widowmaker in this scenario. But Chum Chai, the man, the god, the legend, he's on fire. He's gotten some good picks so far. UCLA not very far along with their ultimate progression as Arizona State is nearing 100% for Chrono Dota, 100% for DJ Dobro on the Moira. The Coalescences have been so on fire. Another Dax actually picking off Chum Chai. That's going to halter it a little bit as Widowmaker is going to be the key requirement for getting picks off and stalling this. UCLA halting the payload just a little bit right here, trying to keep it underneath that bridge.
Yeah, they definitely want to try to keep them pushing up from around this corner. Once they push up around this corner, it's going to be a very dangerous spot there for the UCLA and ASU coming in with the fattest shatter of the world. Fatter than any of the shatters I've ever had in my life.
Oh my god.
DJ Dobro again cleaning up house. And that's it.
Oh gosh. That Chrono Dota, my man, that was just a joy to watch. And he's already at 50% ult charge off the back of that as well. Golden weapon for a reason, for sure. UCLA, Pip is the only one with the ultimate charge. Rax is at 85%. But at the same time, Chrono Dota's got that big beefy shield. You're not going to get any kills with your headshot. Or high noon rather for Raxa. Like, it's just not going to happen, assuming that Chrono Dota stays where he's supposed to be.
Yep, that's completely correct. And here comes A-Maiden waiting for that Graviton surge. Not really finding anything. Instead, did he stick the tire?
No, he didn't.
What did he stick?
He just
he stuck something. I heard it.
I think he may have hit the wall, but I didn't see anybody die from it in the kill feed. Interesting. Anyways. He may have just flubbed it.
I wonder what happened. I don't know.
Pip still went down regardless because he was using his tire simultaneously.
That's why I think he stuck that tire. really interested to see
Chumcha right there using his ultimate rather than Raxa using his, as Raxa is dead right now. Sang is trying his best to hold on to his Valkyrie for a proper time. Raxa and Sang having the only 2 ultimates on their team. However, it is getting 4-man pushed right now by Arizona State, and they do not show signs of stopping. ChronoDota got that Earth Shatter ultimate back up again, going to be coming out any second now.
Yeah, you know, UCLA not being able to hold here against Arizona State. But here comes the high noon, gets Chris. Chris getting taken down. Ooh. Another really big shatter from ChronoDota. Nothing able to follow UCLA. Up,
5 members down for Arizona State, and that was mostly off of the back of Raxa popping his high noon ultimate right there. ChronoDota got that sound barrier from Chris, and he's like, yeah, this is my moment. He got the barrier from Spades. He went in there, he dropped the Earth Shatter, and the rest of his team wasn't there because Raxa had popped his ultimate.
Yeah, that's quite the event that you didn't want to see happening there. Really, I mean, I wish they could have followed up with that, because that was a very big hammer that ChronoDota had. Hopefully he'll be able to get another one of those. Arizona State's gonna have their push again. 4 minutes to go. They do have a lot of time. Pip getting 2 picks there.
Sorry to interrupt, but look at the ultimates for UCLA in comparison to the ultimates from Arizona. DJ Dobro dead with the Coalescence. Chumcha only at 75%. UCLA had all 5 of their ultimates right there, with Raxa rapidly approaching 100%. 4 minutes left for Arizona State. They're going to have to bait out some of these ultimates, and they're going to have to get rid of them quickly, because UCLA is definitely in position to hold this for an extended period of time.
They're definitely going to either have to bait out the ultimates or just waste the fight and drain all of their ultimates. As you can see, their ultimates are coming up as well. DJ Dobro decides to actually blow his, and Pip taking advantage of that combo there with Sureku.
That is... But at the same time, this is what I talked about. Yes, all of Arizona got swept right there, but they retained 3 ultimates, and now UCLA has 3 as well. Now it's no advantage to either side when it comes to ultimate progression. So now, with 3 minutes remaining, they are more capable of doing a convincing push. So I actually would give that in favor of Arizona State, although Pip did land that amazing Junkrat tire and eliminated 3 members of Arizona State's offense.
You're completely correct there on that one. Spades doing a really good job getting into the back line, actually looking for that Graviton Surge. Very brilliant play there, knowing... Oh.
But Pip counters. That was a ridiculously good job from Sang right there. He used his Valkyrie at the proper moment. He healed every single member of the team, and he actually was capable of escaping that Graviton Surge ultimate, and Arizona State got 2-man Pancakes bomb. Look at UCLA. That not only are they slowly pushing back the payload, but they're getting it around that corner where it's just oh so hard for an offense to make a convincing push.
Right, they have to get around this corner, but UCLA is able to hold this corner nearly perfectly, honestly. It's really interesting, kind of seeing what they're doing holding this corner, because it's really hard to push there and get past all of this shield wall. Arizona State pushing into Juggernaut, but it's 1-1 for each team. So this fight could go either way. We just have to make sure that Arizona has to make sure that they get the right picks. Raxa, though, popping off, getting the pick onto that Diva there, and I think it was the Tracer as well.
ChronoDota actually fluffing his ultimate right there, deciding to reset, just jump off the edge on his own accord right there, as to not give any more ult charge. Spades joins him in death as well. They got so close to capping that right there with 2 minutes remaining and 4 ultimates for UCLA. Another Dax's Coalescence is what's going to be super important right here. ChronoDota, as I mentioned, fluffed his Earth Shatter. That is almost 100% of the pushing power, coupled with Spades' Graviton Surge, and without that key element, I'm not sure if Arizona's going to have enough time. 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they definitely have to build a lot of ult charge here pretty quickly, and they need to look for the right picks. Pip has been on the high ground there for UCLA basically the whole game, so they got to make sure they take care of Pip first. A-Maiden doing a really good job sitting in the back line, not able to find anything with that pulse bomb.
He fluffs the ultimate after the sound barrier came out from Arizona State, and Raxa immediately counters and picks him off. It looks like Arizona State are doing as good a job as any of staying on the payload with that Earth Shatter. Earth Shatter right there comes out and lands a majority on UCLA. That is a near clean sweep, 3 members down.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to see there from Arizona State to finally, get this final push in. He waited for that Graviton Surge to go down, and he was busy dealing a lot of damage into them, and then he fire striked as soon as that Graviton Surge was over, basically dealing a permanent stun. And
counter Graviton Surge right there, but it's not enough. He didn't pull them off of the payload. Exploding right there.
Stuck him onto the payload, honestly.
Yeah, that kept him right there. That's not what you want to do. Great timing from Arizona State right there. Not using their Graviton Surge ultimate, preemptively waiting for ChronoDota to have his Earth Shatter, getting a majority of UCLA's team hammering down. cleaning them up, and then forcing them to stream in consecutively, which is exactly what was going on right there. Great work from Arizona State. Took them a little longer than it probably should have, with only about a minute and a half remaining. Let's see if UCLA is going to be capable of countering that.
Yeah, I think that UCLA can do a push.
Because it's offense.
It's offense. You know, they have a very good offense. I think they can do a full push. As far as time goes, I mean, they might push it into overtime, or they might have a lot more time than Arizona. Like you said, Arizona really didn't have that much time left there towards the end.
Minute and a half.
I believe that, yeah, either a minute and a half, somewhere around there. So
if it's different than that, just roast me in chat.
Just roast us if we're wrong, because we don't pay attention apparently.
Yeah.
But you know, I think UCLA has a very good chance here, knowing that Arizona kind of they did a really good job at halting Arizona and getting that time pull down pretty significantly.
Not only were they capable, because you have to think of it in like the long term, assuming that UCLA is able to do a 2-cap, then it's going to come down to the times. They were incapable of stopping ASU from pushing on, but they did stall them for a very long time with about a minute or a minute and a half remaining. That is a pretty big window if UCLA can capitalize on that to make a good push. And it's going to come down to Raxa on this first point specifically. He has got to get the picks. He's got to pop off. He's got to get those clean headshots back to back, or else they're going to run out of time, and they're going to run out of time fast, because ASU is just so good on the defense.
Right, yeah. We want to see them get this first point immediately and do a flawless push on the payload. That's really what
they're going to have to.
That's really what they have to do, because if they go into overtime capturing this first point, it's going to give them a lot less time to push the payload full. So if they want, 47 seconds there from Arizona State. Okay, so it was just under a minute. If they want to have any more time than them, they need to get this first cap immediately. Raxa on the Widowmaker now, a very smart choice there from them. However, his line of sight really isn't the best right now, and Chumcha
getting dove on immediately by that diva right there.
Yeah, and we see Arizona State running this triple tank composition. They're on the defense. Very smart of them. They have a very large health pool.
Takes a long time to kill.
Yeah, so it kind of eliminates Rax's usefulness, as he doesn't have as many. He has one less player really to pick off, but he does pick off Chronododa.
But Pip immediately takes out DJ Dobro, and Chronododa falls as well to a clean headshot from Raxa. Once you lose your key healer like that, and Chronododa as well, you can't stop the progression. And immediately we see UCLA get it past that 66% mark, and it doesn't seem they have any instance of stopping. They did that a little bit slower than Arizona State did. Coalescence popping out right there from another Dax, just trying to shoo away the defense and get a guaranteed cap.
Doing a very, very, very last-minute push here. Tracer needs to stay on the point. She's one of the only ones that's really going to be able to stay on the point here. Raxa has a lot of people to focus on. He has people behind him and people in front of him. So it's very important that he picks off the right people. Not able to find anybody, though. Arizona is able to take that point back because of that stall. That stall is exactly what they needed. Arizona State knew they could get back in time. They knew they had what it took, and A-Maiden got on just in time and waited for another, not another Dax, but for DJ Dobro to come in with the Coalescence to keep him alive just for enough time for his whole team to get back. They're going to go ahead and push on to this point again as Arizona State is regrouping.
Great stall from Arizona, specifically on the back of a Maiden, who unfortunately just died to Pip right there. Transcendence coming out for Sang and UCLA. Raxa trying his best to flank around the back right here, and is doing a great job of isolating the tanks as Juggernaut takes a firm position, forcing Chronododa to get on there. Just under a millimeter left. Chris eliminates Raxa. Pip, Sureku, Pip again, and Juggernaut take out the Arizona State defense. 5 members down, and only a Maiden survives.
Yeah.
A Madian.
I'm going to go with a Maiden.
A Maiden. We'll try. We'll just go with
a
that.
Maiden. I guess. I don't know. But Sureku blew his Graviton Surge after they got that point.
Little bit of a blunder.
Not 100% sure on if it was a fat finger. I mean, I'd most likely call it a fat finger, because I mean he did blow it. I mean, there was just a tracer there on the point, so I don't think there was really any justification there to use that Graviton Surge, but it's definitely going to hinder them on this push. That was the only ultimate they really had.
I think it actually is the longest ultimate to charge in the game. To be honest, is the Graviton Surge. It's also incredibly difficult to do.
Rax coming around the back. Big High Noon coming in. Calling it
or
right
maybe
now.
Not.
Huge. Oh, no.
He gets caught out by Zenyatta, and he's going to lose the 1v1. And Arizona State immediately counters. 5 members down, and actually a team kill right there just a second, as Juggernaut was dead at the very end of that. And that's going to be it for this push. They're going to have to regroup. But Arizona State, as you can see, had to use 3 ultimates. Chumchai Latte lost his, Spades lost his, and Amadian lost his as well, whereas UCLA retains 2. Juggernaut rapidly approaching 100%, and Pip just barely getting 100% as well.
Yeah, UCLA having an upper hand here on this push. They definitely can take it back. I don't know if Raxa saw Chumcha up there. He did. He did look back.
Yeah.
Chumcha doing a good job sitting in the back. He's probably going to come in and kind of disrupt here with his Diva mech charging in. Yeah, there we see a lot of the disruption coming in. And Chronodota with a very, very good hammer there, picking up Sting and Surrector.
Chris, my man, he is just on fire with those headshots right now, in spite of actually not being on fire up on the player board. But I saw him get 3 picks in that push just barely from UCLA, and they're capable of moving them back to the spawn. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left for UCLA to try and get back on there. They do have 4 ultimates with Sang rapidly approaching Transcendence, which is just so integral to rapidly accelerating your team onto the payload.
Yep, and that's what they need to do. They need to get back on the payload. Chronodota causing a lot of, not Chronodota, Chumcha causing a lot of problems there in the back line, just disrupting a lot of this push that they can really get in. Pip needs to find a good tire, and he needs to not get caught out of position, which he almost did. Oh, never mind. That's it. Chronodota throwing in the fire strike.
Fantastic job.
Chumcha doing a really good job there in the backline, honestly.
On Diva, nonetheless. On Diva, which is an interesting pick for him. I haven't seen him play Diva that often, but he's definitely coming in integral right here as Raxa is down, Sang a Juggernaut as well, and he gets another kill, popping the Diva bomb, a little bit of a Manor bomb right there. He thinks he's confident enough to keep him right there. Chronodota in the cheeky position, gonna hide there with his Earth Shatter. I'm not sure if this is, the proper play, but I think ASU being ASU, they feel confident enough to try and stall UCLA. I'm actually curious as to where they are. UCLA.
They took the high ground. Good option. They took the high ground there. They decided to kind of just get out of that choke point, take the high ground, and go up top.
Go back.
Raxa probably going to look.
Go back. There it is.
Something big.
Raxa counters though, and he gets a good clean pick off on a Maiden, and Chronodota falls low as well. Chris coming in with the Transcendence ultimate to try and save the rest of them, and 5 members are down for UCLA. It's Sang just barely respawning. Raxa is the only person alive. You have got 1 minute left.
Yeah, it's very, very, very not. Man,
Chumcha.
It's disappointing to see
my man.
UCLA getting held here in spawn. I don't want to see UCLA get held here in spawn. There's a lot of things that they can do. They need to get a key pick when they push up so far, and they need to not.
Tracer.
Yeah, they need a tracer, and they need to not let Chumcha sit there in their backline and just disrupt them every time they try to push up. Look at him; he's still back there. You can still see Chumcha back there, just disrupting anything and everything that UCLA's wanted to do.
He's behind their team, and
he's
they're just ignoring him. He's like 6v1ing, and he comes in with the ultimate, coupled with the Graviton Surge. However, the Transcendence, Pip with the with a Junkrat Tire as well. It's about 4 members down for Arizona State, with DJ Dobra rapidly approaching. The Transcendence from Sang was the game changer right there. And then props to Juggernaut as well, because that Diva Bomb came up right behind them. Juggernaut having the presence of mind to turn around and block that with his shield and not allow his team to get aced. UCLA is getting on the point just in the nick of time, and they are going to have to stall Arizona State from pushing back on it.
Arizona State, however, look how far they are from this checkpoint. Arizona State has time to get back and contest this.
Oh yeah,
and they most definitely will. Look at Chumcha. He's going around the back. He's trying to stay away from this high noon. Rax is doing a very good job trying to zone them all out. So that's very key to see from there. But now we see Chronodota capitalizing on that opportunity of after they get zoned, and now they don't have a shield or anything. He throws the hammer down.
That's it.
And that's
it. They had such a good look right there from Arizona State. Not only were they capable of retaking the payload, but they were able of staying on it just long enough to put it into overtime and, eventually stall it out and cap it. A Median on Tracer right here with the play game. Actually not sure which one this is going to be.
Yeah. Love that. Did he throw a bomb here?
No?
I think he might have thrown a bomb here. Yeah, he did.
Oh, there we go. There's the play of the game. I was like, he's just getting 1 kill? Just to kill us? No, that was phenomenal right there. It's a lot more difficult than people think it is to get the pulse bombs in on the Graviton Surges, as there's so many things that can intercept it before it gets to its primary target.
Diva sitting in there.
Yeah. What you're supposed to do actually is you blink behind it and you put it on the ground, not on the character, right where it is, and then there's no chance of you missing it, and then you just boop, But Arizona State, just
phenomenal performance.
Great work from Arizona State right there. I am impressed to see that UCLA was capable of taking the first point away from them, as I think only... No, I'm not sure. I don't think a single team has taken a point from them. No, Utah took 1 map on Lijiang away from them, and that was it.
Yes.
Other than that, they have been flawless.
Yeah.
As far as my knowledge is. But Arizona State, to even falter that little bit to UCLA is a testament as to how good UCLA is, or how good they are capable of becoming.
They kind of just fell apart there.
Yeah.
At the end.
They got tilted.
Yeah, they maybe probably got a little bit tilted or just didn't know really what to do, because Chumcha was sitting there in the back line just disrupting anything and everything that was existent. You know, so really hard to kind of get that out of the way. But also Raxa not really staying with his team. You know, he was trying to go for
MVP
a flank.
it.
Right, yeah. No, he was trying to MVP himself, but not really wanting to see from Raxa. He needs to stay with his team.
You can do that against the other teams that you've played against where you have the 2,000 SR differences, not against ASU. They're going to punish you so hard for that.
Right, so definitely not what we wanted to see from Raxa. You know, he spent too much of his time flanking, not with his team, and his team definitely lost.
It was a detriment because of it.
It was a detriment for them. So if he was there and he was dealing damage to the people that were coming in their face, probably would help him.
To play off of that, though, the very first point that they took on that payload, the initial control point, Raxa was doing what he was supposed to be. He was in the backline as Widowmaker in a safe position, looking for picks on supports, and that allowed his team, Pip and Juggernaut specifically, to be able to move in and do what they needed to do, isolate themselves on the point, you know, really secure that on the back of Raxa. Raxa, when he switched over to McCree for those corners right there, trying to, you know, use his high noon and whatnot, he didn't get hardly any value from it. He wasn't capable of stopping the flankers, as you saw Chumcha in the backline there on D.Va for just the entire match. He was there the entire match, just putting rockets after, you know, just a massacring them.
Matrices,
it's awful.
It's just really rough.
Yeah.
Really rough to see that happen. And you know, and I really wish that I you know, we could say that that. Oh man, what am I trying to say? I really wish that I could say that UCLA really had a good chance there, but once they started getting sat and spawn, you know, that's where they lost it. You know,
in situations like that, it boils down to a lack of communication. People will call, I can almost guarantee you in their comms, they're like, hey, Chumcha on D.Va is behind us right now. We have to have someone to address it. Raxa, can you go and do that? And he's like, no, can you go and do that? I have to do this. And he's like, well, no, I'm doing this. And no one actually wanted to take time out of doing their roles to go back and deal with it. And that just allowed Chumcha to massacre them. There was nothing that they were doing about it, even though they had so many opportunities. They could have, as 6, turned around and beat the tar out of him, killed him, and then 5v6 pushed. Like, how hard is it to do that? But just lack of communication, not establishing who's going to do what, who's going to be in what positions, et cetera, et cetera.
They needed to punish Chumcha. We didn't really see him do that either. He was still sitting there in the back line. Then anytime he would hide, they would just forget about him.
Yeah.
And then he would come back. Then he would hide, and they'd just forget about him. They just needed to punish him. They all needed to collapse on him. Then they'd be and then, you know, ASU would be one player down. Then they could go ahead and push. And we saw them do that, you know, with those Graviton Surge. We saw them, you know, kind of capitalize on Chumcha not being with the team, and then capitalizing on killing him after. But you know, it's just he really did sit in the back line a lot, and it's just not something we wanted to see. UCLA definitely needs to kind of step it up here on this next.
Interesting composition from ASU though, as they were still running triple tank after the recent patches with Sombra. We've seen triple tank kind of fall out of meta a little bit. People are now favoring 2-2-2. Or 2-2-2, yeah, 2-2-2, or dive compositions. Triple tank has kind of fallen out of meta slightly, but it's still there, and Arizona State is doing a fantastic job of highlighting that triple tank is not going anywhere. When you get your Zaryas and your Earth Shatters combined, it's just a force to be reckoned with. So shout out to the tanks specifically for ASU, as I feel like they were mostly the highlighted players for Arizona State. They're the ones that carried their team to victory, although everyone was doing a great job, especially Chris Zenyatta. Like, he was doing just as much damage as anyone else on his team.
He sat in the back, which is what we saw. We actually saw one of Rax's flanks get just shut down really by Chris, because he was just so far back, just kind of shooting, just like, you know, just kind of tossing, you know, his orbs all over the place.
Throwing avocados at him.
Yeah, just throwing everything he had at him. And then when Raxa comes around the corner, Zenyatta's still in the back line and can just see everything. We see next off is Temple of Anubis. I'm sorry about that. Looks like you know, just forgot that, you know, we needed to tell you guys what map it is, because we were just so excited to talk about that. What happened in
Temple of
match.
Anubis.
But Temple of Anubis, kind of seeing the same map rotation we saw in this in our first match here. But it'll be really interesting to see what they kind of roll out with these compositions. We see Arizona State running the Sombra, as they should.
Yeah.
They're on the
Maybe
defense.
not on the first point.
You know, it is on the first point. I would prefer to see it more on the second point, but it does work on the first point as long as you play it correctly.
The other thing is they're putting Chumcha on Sombra. Chumcha traditionally is their tracer player, who I feel like will become much more in a handy on this first point, as there is a lot fewer health packs that you can actually hack in a proper, you know, to fully utilize Sombra. I don't think you can do that on the first point. I think you get more value out of Tracer, but, you know, Tracer main, I am biased. UCLA, Raxa is going to be on Widowmaker for the first point, and Pip is going to be playing Junkrat. I love that offensive pick right there on the Junkrat. You just do such a good job of disjointing the defense of Arizona State. You can do damage, like everything is just so powerful on this map specifically for Junkrat.
Yeah, and you know, and notice how Chumcha is most likely going to play Sombra like you would play Tracer. You have that mobility and you have those escapes, right? So she's most likely going to play very flanky and very hack oriented, doing a lot of damage and then just getting out the back.
Raxa
taking out DJ Dobro though.
That's your main heal. Like, you've got the tiny healing radius from Lucio, I guess. Raxa and Chumcha right there. You really want to 1v1 the god. Are you going to do it? He falls down to 56 HP, and he gets the pocket heals, saving him. And I think UCLA is just going to push onto the point. 2 teams down with those respawn timers and the walkback time, rather. I don't think they can do it.
I don't believe they'll be able to do it either. Arizona State definitely not gonna be able to capitalize here on this defense. Looks like they might have to give this point up. Raxa falling very low. Chumcha predicting
my man.
That grappling hook. He knew that was coming. Chumcha's gonna do his best. Try to defend as much as possible, going invisible. Very good play
caught
there.
out though from Juggernaut right there. Fantastic game sense of Juggernaut to know where the invisible Sombra is most likely going to be, and that's 3 members of UCLA on the point as the rest of Arizona falls. That is the fastest anyone has taken a point against Arizona State thus far. Sureku and Juggernaut, the 2 tanks, taking that point just by themselves, and they are on fire.
And here we're going to see Sombra come into play a lot more. There's very key health packs that she's going to be able to sit on and have, you know, escapes for. So Sombra's going to be a lot more dangerous here, and her hacks can be a lot more useful too. Never mind, Sombra's out of the game. That's it.
Raxa, my man, that was such a clean headshot. You cannot. I think maybe that was a bit of a disconnect as Chumchai wasn't moving. He was just kind of there. That's interesting. Usually you're more mobile. DJ Dobro, however, counters and Juggernaut falls, and it actually doesn't matter. UCLA, 3 members down with Sureku closely following. Chris taking a little bit of damage from those damage balls from Moira, but Arizona State retains a majority of their ultimates. They're going to have 6 any moment now, and, you know, 4 as well for UCLA.
Yeah, and, you know, even though we saw Chumcha get picked off there early on in that fight, Arizona State held their cool and let it kind of go out. They relied a lot on the median to deal a lot of damage, and that's what they did.
Raxa actually saying that the Winston is out of position right there. No doubt is he communicating that to his team, and they're going to take advantage. I don't think Chronodot is in a good spot right there. Immediately he has to jump back, like I said. And Raxa with a good headshot right there, actually getting about 50% of the HP from D.Va, but a little bit of a waste of infrasight right there. They did get to see where the Winston was, but nothing's happened so far.
Good turtling from ASU.
Yeah.
That's what they want to do when you have infrasight. Just don't let anything hit. No! The hack coming out.
The hack. Oh, that's brutal.
That is why Sombra is good.
Yeah.
Your EMP can hit basically everybody here. And it really, like you saw, it really just ruined all of UCLA's push. Once that hack came out, they all died.
Yeah.
I mean, look how many ultimates they have. They had ready, they were going to use them, they wanted it, but Chumcha says, you know, listen, try again.
Yeah.
Next push.
Good luck,
and
Scrubs.
This is why Sombra's really strong on this map. She's going to get her ult charge pretty quickly, though. Chumcha is going to do a really good job getting this ultimate charge back, as long as he does a good job of kind of staying in the back line, getting as many hacks as possible, and dealing damage. And there you go. He's sitting on Raxa. Good person to be sitting on.
Chumcha taking out Raxa immediately. The Widowmaker is no longer there, and a majority of the ultimates are ready for UCLA.
That's
got
the resurrection
Coalescence
as well from UCLA.
Another Dax right there. Pop the Coalescence, and Raxa is getting rezzed right there. However, no Graviton Search from Sureku, so a little bit of a waste for another Dax to pop that. Interesting choice as Juggernaut falls to a Madian. That's just... I don't see UCLA making it happen on this push specifically. They're going to have to back off. They're going to have to regroup. Chris takes out Raxa. Spades takes out Pip and a Madian as well. Takes out Sang. Chumcha moving into the back right there.
Look at that ult charge. Look at that ult charge that he's getting every single time he gets a hit. Millions of ult charge that he gets in. Almost 100% his EMP is going to be ready. Arizona State coming in with 5 ultimates. Chris approaching his ultimate as well. 6 ultimates from Arizona.
That's not going to be. You're not going to stop that anytime soon. 3.5 minutes left. Raxa electing to switch off of the Widowmaker, realized that Sombra is being too big of a pain. He needs that flashbang to kind of mess her up, so he's going to take McCree instead. I like the change, I like the picks, realizing when something isn't working, even though it's your best character, you have to be capable of switching off. Sureku holding his ultimate right there, but doesn't have any of his damage charge from his barriers.
Yeah, and like you said, Raxa making a very good switch. Here comes the EMP, hacking everybody again, and there we go. UCLA falls. Every time that hack comes out, just everything just gets
That's
burned.
a team kill. That's a team
Sang
kill.
had actually popped the Valkyrie before the hack came out as well, and then had died right after that.
Good.
Switching to Lucio instead of Mercy now, seeing as they kind of need to push together as a group. They're probably going to start in as a death ball. And really just getting onto the point.
UCLA used ultimates that round. As you can see, Sang at 0%, switching off of the Mercy right there, who had the Valkyrie ultimate. But Arizona State not over-committing to that. They still have Chrono Dota, DJ Dobro, and Chris with ultimates as well. Sureku moving onto the point right here. Doesn't want to get that sucked up by the defense matrix, but looking for the proper opportunity. UCLA is on the point with the Coalescence popped. You have to use the Graviton Surge, and Sureku does, but countered with the sound barrier from Chris.
Yeah, really good job here to see UCLA really just capitalize on the point. Everybody's staying on the point. Arizona State doing a good job, however, surrounding them and picking off really key players. Raxa,
UCLA may have done it.
Very good switch onto McCree. I think that's exactly what won them this fight.
It's still contested. It's still contested. They're not getting any charge in spite of taking out a majority of Arizona State's team. Oh, missing the headshot right there.
He needs to get the headshot. He needs to get those headshots there. And
DJ
Dobro definitely took a too long of a time there on Raxa. They're streaming in. Their push. They're streaming in. They are streaming in here at this point, and UCLA most likely will be able to take this point if Arizona State falters. However, Arizona State doing a really good job.
Fighting for their life right now. They're on the point. They're forced to stream in because if you don't, but it just barely hit the first tick. We've been seeing them on this point for about 25 seconds, and this is the first time that they're actually making real progression. But 5 members down for Arizona State, 2 just barely restarting, continuing to contest. It's rapidly approaching 0. Are they going to do it? Amadian falls. It's so close. Chrono Dota just barely diving on, throwing down that defense.
He's getting a lot of ult charge here right now. He might get Primal Rage for this fight, which is going to turn it around. If Chrono Dota can get Primal Rage for this fight, Arizona State's going to be able to take this point. He did. Now he's going to be able to knock everybody off this point. Arizona's going to be able to defend with this. That is very good play there from Chrono Dota to sit there and build his ult charge.
It's a full 6v6 again, and Amadian takes out Juggernaut. Arizona State now has the advantage moving in. UCLA.
Sureku, very good Graviton Surge.
Oh my.
Getting picked off after that. This is back and forth, man. Arizona State's doing a really good job holding his point right now. Raxa coming in, though. 2 headshots, getting 2 picks.
Raxa.
Very key picks.
I don't even know what to say. Raxa with the full counter. 4 members down, just barely 5, and they did it. UCLA just took a map out from Arizona State.
There we go, UCLA. That's what we wanted to see.
Oh, my.
Arizona State did a very good job holding that point for as long as possible. But UCLA coming in, changing Raxa over to McCree, and having that McCree just really, really screwed everything over.
That was just a spectacle from both sides. It was back and forth. There was so much action, specifically from Chumcha on Winston. He stalled that point for far longer than anyone ever should. So hats off to Chumcha in every sense of the word. He was just ridiculously... He was just on the point for so long right there, and it seemed like they were going to push him off with 50 seconds left, and then Raxa finally comes around and shows his true colors, you know, and starts taking off the supports and isolating people and being Raxa and making space and whatnot. I did not think... There was a moment right there where I thought Arizona State had done it, where they were finally capable of essentially 3v6ing UCLA and allowing the rest of their team to get on to make it a full 6v6 fight, and it was. And Juggernaut fell, and then it was 5v6, and it's like, oh my god, is Arizona State going to do it? Like, there was a moment of hope right there, but, you know, Raxa just
clapped him. Cleaning slate.
Clapped him.
Clapped him. Yeah, so really, really good to see UCLA pull through. That last game wasn't very on, like...
They weren't their best.
It wasn't their best game. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Last game wasn't their best. Didn't see as good of a performance there. They come into Temple of Anubis, obviously loser's choice map. They know what they're doing on this map, and they pull through. They pull through pretty well on it. So really happy to see UCLA pick a good map for them and take advantage of the loser's pick.
And the other thing though is Arizona State traditionally has been much better on offense than they have on defense, in spite of them, you know, getting that flawless defense against UCLA. So I actually think Arizona State is going to be capable of countering this. I think it's going to go into overtime, or I
believe we're going to
tiebreaker rather.
Tiebreaker round here. Getting stuck in the trap there.
Do you know what I just noticed? They don't have ADHD. They're running Amadian instead.
ADHD
is their main tracer player. That actually is going to cripple Arizona State just a little bit, but not
I don't know. Amadian's been doing pretty good. Never mind.
Yeah. He has been doing good, but, you know, Raxa with a headshot on McCree. Chumcha trying his best right there to put damage in the backline, but I think the healers are going to be more than capable. He's just giving him ult charge at this point. He's not going to get a pick off.
He's also gaining ult charge himself. And definitely acting as a distraction as well. Doing a very good job holding a good high ground position and kind of splitting him up, making him look for him. Here you go. He's getting a lot of ult charge there. He didn't want to get flashbang, but he's very close to his ult. They're going to be able to push in there. They're going to be able to push in there with Chumcha, very nearing his ultimate.
Raxa and Pip, however, do eliminate Spades, and Sang takes out Amadian as well. With the Dragon Blade popping right there, immediately jumping on top of Raxa, and he falls immediately. Chumcha trying his best right there, moving off screen a little bit right there as another Dax falls as well. And this is Arizona State's opportunity. They have got 3 members down for UCLA. Actually, Juggernaut survives just by the skin of his teeth, and Pip retains. That is the it of Arizona push. That's it for Arizona's push. Yeah. Chumcha just blew his ultimate, nothing got from it.
Arizona's push faltered there because Chumcha had blown his ultimate after 2 picks had gone out from UCLA. UCLA had gotten 2 picks on Arizona, and then Chumcha came out with the Genji ultimate. Got 2 or 3 picks there, but wasn't able to capitalize because his team wasn't behind him anymore. His team was still walking back.
Great job of holding down that Junkrat tire and eliminates DJ Dobro. Your support is down with High Noon coming up from Raxa, and 4 members are down. Almost 5 members died for Arizona State right there. Great job from UCLA as they actually hold 2 minutes remaining for Arizona State, and they actually have 2 ultimates. They're going to have to make something happen, and it's going to happen quickly.
Yeah, it's got to happen quickly for sure. They only have 2 minutes here, which means they have 3 or 4 pushes left, hopefully, as long as they make them quick. But really, Arizona State faltering here. I don't like seeing this from them.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, Amadian coming in with a pulse bomb. Hopefully, we'll be able to find something out of this. But again, sticking it.
Interesting to do it on the Orisa, who was
on the unstoppable Orisa.
On the unstoppable Orisa. A bit of questionable decision making right there. Maybe it just could have been a heat of the moment thing. 3 members are down for Arizona. Actually, I stand corrected once again as Chris survives, but still not a. Ooh, that shut me up, Raxa. Shut me up, man. Raxa is on fire. 84% ult charge, rapidly approaching 100%.
Definitely rapidly approaching 100%. Again, coming in with a High Noon. That's
2 ultimates to 1.
I think 40 seconds after he had just used his other one. So pretty good shots coming out.
Only member on his team that's on fire. Oh, just barely went away. But
he's
however,
on fire.
Chrono Dota diving in on top of the point right there, and the Dragon Blade ultimate from Chumcha immediately eliminating Raxa and Sang as well. Amadian takes out Suraku. This is the fight that we wanted Arizona State to take. They saw one opportunity. Chrono Dota leaped in onto the point with it, and then dropped his defense right there, and he's like, hey, I'm in a good position right here. Pops the Dragon Blade ultimate on the now disjointed, disoriented team from UCLA and capitalizes Arizona State. That's what we wanted to see, just a little bit too late. Or later than it should have been, rather.
Yep, and now we see Arizona State can have 4 minutes to push on to this second point. They're going to have to do a full push, though. So we'll have to see. Knowing UCLA's defense right now, Arizona State not looking too good for them.
Yeah.
They're definitely relying a lot on Chumcha to come in with the big Dragon Blades. You don't want to see him relying on it. But Spades coming in, immediate pick on Raxa and another Dax.
2 members down for UCLA, and the Transcendence is out for Chris, but countered by Pip's Junkrat Tower. Amazing timing to not allow that to be transcended by DJ Dobro. And it looks like UCLA is actually going to be capable of countering as the rest of their team floods in. Juggernaut popping that whole hog ultimate, and that's it. Arizona State falls back after burning a majority of their ultimates. That's not good for them.
UCLA not having very many ultimates either, though, however. So, pretty even as far as ultimate goes. Chumcha nearing his ultimate a lot, a lot faster than a lot of the people on UCLA for right now. But, again, ASU was relying on Chumcha to come in with the big Dragon Blades. So,
and they're not running Zarya with it simultaneously. I feel like if they were running Zarya instead of Spades on Diva, that would have helped out Chumcha, since it seems to me, at least, that they are relying heavily on him. He's going to pop that Dragon Blade right now. Immediately moves on top of another Dax. A great situation. Pip falls, and that's actually 2 members down. He gets the Supercharger. And Amadian with that huge Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, Amadian coming in with that Pulse Bomb, sticking it looks like onto Sureku and getting Lucio there as well. Chumcha doing a very good job keeping everybody off the point. The Chrono Dota popping the Monkey ultimate as well. The Primal Rage coming out. Big Monkey coming out, knocking everybody around, knocking him off the point, in and out.
UCLA, however, still holding this point.
Counter contestation from UCLA. Raxa on Tracer gets his pulse bomb ultimate right there, and it actually looks like they're capable of holding it. Chris using his sound barrier right there to try and mitigate a majority of the damage, but actually UCLA respawns just a little bit, but Arizona State is definitely in the favorable position here.
They are for sure in the favorable position. 2 tanks up here for UCLA, though. A lot of health cool. Sureku also switching to a tank. They're running triple tank here on this defense. They want to hold this for as long as possible. They're going to rely on Raxa on that Tracer to do as much as possible, get back on the point, deal as much damage. However, Median coming out, sticking another Dax. That's big.
That's it.
That's it. Arizona State's going to take this point. This is it.
It's just
UCLA.
Raxa and he falls. That's it. And there you go.
2 minutes to 1 minute. I don't know. I don't think well, UCLA is going to be able to come out on this one anymore.
I mean, but at the same time, UCLA capped the first point in about 1.5 minutes. They had a little falter with there. They had a couple of pick-offs rather that allowed their team to, you know, stop them from pushing onto the point. How long did it take ASU to take the first point?
I think it
they had like
pushed
30
ASU
seconds
into
remaining.
overtime.
They had like 30 seconds remaining, so
But
ASU was incapable of taking it in a timely manner.
But also keep in mind, they have a lot more time now, though.
Yeah.
ASU has a lot more time on their attack. They have 2 minutes and 41 seconds compared to the 1 minute that UCLA is going to have. So UCLA is going to
not going to get ults.
They're not going to be able to get ults, and they're going to have a lot shorter of a time. They're going to be more rushed. Whereas ASU is going to have a lot more relaxed time. They're going to be able to
get their
set up. They're going to get their ultimates, and they're going to have a better chance to cap this point. This is why I don't think UCLA really has the upper hand here, because that time rush really matters. Even if it's just 1 minute more, and obviously it's a minute and 40 more for ASU. But
I mean, at the same time, ASU is like, hey, they nearly beat us on the first point. They're probably like, you know, we actually are getting a run for our money here. That may come into play here. We're just going to have to see as we move in here on the counter. It looks like it's going to be UCLA on the offense. Raxa taking the Widowmaker. He's going to have to get picks immediately if they plan on taking it. We're already at 55 seconds.
Yeah, like you said, the immediate picks are going to have to come out here with Raxa. But again, Chelmsha is sitting in the back line with Sombra. He's going to cause a lot of disturbance.
Baits out a hook.
He baits out a hook, bait out cooldowns. He's also going to be able to get the hack. Raxa taking a very interesting position here, knowing where Arizona State is.
Chris falls to Raxa. That's what they need. That's what they need. Chrono Dota falls as well to Pip. It's 2-man down. You have to take advantage of this now. 30 seconds remaining. Chumcha, however, canters, and Pip and another Dax fall to him alone, saying with the res on Pip, but Raxa is trying his best to look for headshots.
Also falling after that resurrection. This is really, really bad here from UCLA. They don't have any healers really up at all. Another Dax taking a long time to walk back, but Chumcha doing a really good job holding this point against UCLA. Not letting really anybody get any picks, and that's it. Rax is the only person left.
But the first tick.
Yeah, not even getting the first tick. Very, very close there.
That was close.
But UCLA, like I said, having that minute doesn't give you enough time. You see, that was their first and only initial push. Arizona State's gonna have 2. They're gonna have 2 minimum pushes, unless their first push gets held for so long. But if Arizona's smart, Arizona's going to realize that if their first push isn't working, they're going to suicide and they're going to reset. They're going to have at least 2 pushes minimum, knowing that they're going to play smart.
The reason why UCLA lost right there is in spite of Chumcha getting that clean headshot on Lucio, with that Lucio gone, like that should have been it. And then they immediately got Chrono Dota down as well. But then Chumcha takes out both of the backbone players, the support and the DPS, with Pip and
Sang. Sang fell after he
Pip and Sang. Once that was done, like, what did UCLA rather have to push with? Like Raxa by himself, like he's not going to be able to headshot tanks. Like that's not going to happen. And then that was the end of the push. So that was without a doubt 100% Chumcha's good. That was all Chumcha.
Yeah, Chumcha did that. Sombra. Strong pick. Sombra was just really strong.
Which I mean, it baffles me. Like I don't understand how they had such poor communication to allow Chumcha to do what he did. It could just have been Chumcha being that good. But I mean, we're just gonna have to see.
I just believe that Sombra, that Chumcha does have that
Sombra's good again. I'm
high level, that very high level Sombra play, which is really nice to see. But let's go ahead and take a look at what ASU is going to do on this attack. ASU not running any Sombra or anything cheeky. They're going to run a very standard dive composition here. They're going to get on the point, and that's it.
Raxa's on 76. We have not seen that thus far.
Yeah,
interesting.
And a more standard defense here.
He's
from
afraid.
UCLA
He's
as
afraid
well.
of Chumcha's Sombra. That's what it is, basically.
They are afraid, so they don't want that Chumcha to come out. But Amadian getting on the point really immediately there.
And
really cut. Yeah, and then here comes the whole dive from ASU. ASU picking up Raxa and saying, that's it. That's 2 picks there onto UCLA. Sureku falling out of mech. That's it. There we go. ASU
GG.
taking that point. GG. Arizona going 2-0.
That is such a good job from the offense of Arizona State. That full dive composition that they were running. Amadian on Tracer, Chumcha on Genji. Chumcha actually getting 71% of his ultimate charge in that short amount of time. So great work from Arizona State. Not letting the nerves or anything like that get the better of them. Chumcha with the play of the game right here. No doubt. Actually,
I think this was his bigger Dragon Blade.
Yes, this was when they got the first
This was the big Dragon Blade, yeah. There we go. Raxa saying fallen, and then the rest of everyone just getting cleaned up. Pip falling there at the end, and that's when they took that first initial point.
UCLA, however, did take Arizona State into a tiebreaker. Like, that hasn't happened yet. That hasn't happened yet.
So UCLA does have a good chance.
ASU, however, they do seem to be, more established as the team to beat here. They've taken 2 games to 0 now, essentially. Doesn't matter if it goes into overtime, doesn't matter if it gets to tiebreaker. ASU still won both of the matches on Kings Row and Temple of Anubis. So they're going to have to make this happen. This is essentially the map to have happen for UCLA. They have to beat them now or they're done. That's simple.
That's it.
UCLA's
really
got to bring it.
I have nothing to add to that. I mean, that's what they need to do.
It's not like they haven't been bringing it. Like, they've been doing a phenomenal job. It's just that ASU has been that much better than them. They're just going to have to double their efforts, basically. I mean, I don't even think it boils down to Raxa specifically. Raxa's been doing his job for the most part. He seemed a little bit of a pansy right there to not take the Widowmaker on the second point. Could have been some type of strategic play that we're not aware of.
Maybe he assumed they're going to run a full dive composition anyway.
Exactly.
And playing Widow against the full dive
McCree is better.
Much better. It's just going to end your life. But he ended up playing Soldier, trying to hold the high ground.
Should have been McCree.
I think McCree also in a dive composition situation is also a little bit hard.
Imagine because right there we saw Amadian dive onto the point, and that seemed to be like, oh, they hear that the point is capping. And they don't have very much time for it to get to that 33%, so they had to react to that immediately. Imagine if Raxa had just turned around, flashbang, headshot, that was it. That could have been so much more impactful than, getting picked off in the background, because Amadian was actually shooting Raxa in the back right there, and he kind of was fumbling around. I feel like if he was McCree in that situation, that push wouldn't have happened. Could just be me, but...
Debatable.
It's situational.
Especially speaking to McCree, there's a lot of variables that can happen.
You got to land the headshot
when you're flat. Yeah, you got to land the flashbang, and then you got to land the headshot following up. You got to be very consistent with it. Raxa most likely, like most McCree players, not feeling extremely comfortable in that situation. And, even if you practice it for days and that's all you do, it's still very hard and still very unpredictable. And there's a lot that goes into it. So the Soldier being a little bit safer of a pick, regardless if McCree was the right pick there.
I think they were thinking that Arizona State, knowing that Arizona State had as much time as they did, about 3 minutes with the 2 minutes and 41 seconds, I think they thought that Arizona State was just going to chill. They were going to wait, get a full team of 6 ultimates, and then do the unstoppable push with, maybe a Zarya and a Tracer composition, or Zarya... whatever it is that they decided to do. But no, they just came out the gates flying, and they just full dive composition, dove into the back right there. And so I feel like Raxa was hoping to hopefully get his TAC visor up as Soldier 76, because that would have been able to stop that. But, immediately he died to Amadian, so that was interesting choices. It didn't work out. It could have, but it didn't. Misreads, there's so many different factors. All we know is that ASU did a phenomenal job right there.
Yep. ASU coming out strong.
Strong as always. Strong as always.
Get him your
without having ADHD.
Without having ADHD. And I see you guys in the chat wanting ADHD back. We all want ADHD back. Much easier name to say as well.
Than Amadian.
But Amadian, I did actually really well.
Yeah.
Not
crapping on Amadian at all. Like, he's doing a good job.
Not at all. Amadian did a very good job. I do like how he played there, and he definitely got them that point, getting on that point, causing a lot of pressure, and really starting that full dive.
In their comms for ASU right now, they have got to be just praising Chumcha, because it has been him these last 2 points on Temple of Anubis, 100% Chumcha in every sense of the word. He's been the one stalling, he's been the one capping, he's been the one back sniping on supports and whatnot. Like, Chumcha is just being ridiculous.
Chumcha is ridiculous.
We love him.
I love Sombra.
Chumcha latte.
I also love Raxa. I also love everybody that plays in this tournament. All of you guys.
Phenomenal.
Chat, you guys. I
phenomenal.
love chat. You guys are a big meme right now, but I love you guys.
Gotta give us that roast.
Always roast.
Go ahead, and I think we are ready to take a look at the next map. It is going to be Ilios. Let's see if the teams are ready. Ilios, how do you think these two teams are going to be playing out on that one?
I mean, it's Ilios. We're probably going to see
Ilios, the
very
cancer map.
Very, very balled up compositions, really, or very grouped up compositions. We do see a lot of Pharah here. Just really depends up on the map. If you're playing well, obviously you're going to play really static.
Well is
and
just
against that well, you're just going to see everybody die.
Well is just evil. I hate it.
And
watch it be well first point. Like that would just be terrible. I hate it.
If first point is well, I would cry. But it looks like it's actually going to be Lighthouse here for the first point as we go ahead.
Lighthouse. I actually enjoy Lighthouse because you can Reaper is actually pretty strong on this one. I believe that to be so. That Reaper right there, because he can actually use his Shadow Walk up there and then drop his ultimate down onto the point, and it's nearly impossible to stop. It's almost impossible to predict. Chumcha is going to favor the Pharah, like you called.
Raxa's going to flex on him with the Hanzo.
Raxa.
He's going to flex on him. He's going to flex on him.
You just had to, man. Chumcha getting some good pot shots into the front line of UCLA. However, just giving charge to
serious.
He's already at 30%.
However, yeah, almost half. Getting a lot of direct hits there. A lot of fat targets, honestly.
They don't have any hit scan.
That's it. Ooh, DJ Dobro getting taken out by Raxa, though. I don't know if they need hit scan because Raxa's doing good.
Amadian counters. He just punched Rax in the head, but Raxa counters with a headshot. At point blank, however, Spades is there to clean up. Arizona State is on the point. They're getting contested right there. Pip is not in position. He's not where he needs to be. UCLA is going to try their best to stall it. It's 2-2. 1-1 now. It's the tank battle right now, and it's actually going to fall away. UCLA is trying their best, and he gets stopped.
Actually didn't capture that point. Woo! I'm sorry, no, ASU actually didn't capture that point. UCLA is coming back pretty hard. It looks like Arizona State actually ended up capping.
Finally, however, Raxa immediately seeing that they're running Pharmacy. Picks McCree. Great switch off right there from Raxa. Going to be able to utilize that 96% ultimate charge for Chumcha.
As much as we all love Hanzo, Kappa. I hate Hanzo.
It's
mainly because I can't play
As much as we all love Hanzo.
I can't play Hanzo, so I hate him. But everybody else can play Hanzo, apparently.
Sparrow is the cheesiest garbage that was to ever grace Overwatch. Like, let's keep it real. Fight me on that one.
Keep it real. UCLA getting directly onto the point, though, forcing Arizona State to kind of force into this balled composition, though.
Great locationing right there from Chumcha.
Chris, the boop. Boop god.
Clean sweep from UCLA.
Oh, Spades, the boop god as well.
Chris, the god of boop himself. That was just amazing from Arizona State. They're rapidly approaching 50%, and UCLA has no ultimates as to Arizona's 3. I don't think they're going to be able to take it back from them.
I don't know. Arizona, convincing performance here. The Pharah coming out from Chumcha is just very strong. Those boops, that we saw from Spades and Chris were very strong. Arizona has 4 ultimates compared to UCLA's none.
You can't push without ultis. That's just it. I mean maybe Raxa can make
but
something
you
happen.
got to get some pretty key picks. But, again, they're getting on the point here, taking it very quickly and forcing Arizona to play onto the point.
Raxa actually getting tied up with a Madian right there in the background. Sound Barrier ultimate coming up from Chris, and he finally gets the High Noon ultimate, trying to isolate people and buy time for his people to take the point. 77%, Juggernaut takes out Spades. They have got 2 members on the point right now with that Whole Hog ultimate, and this is the best they're going to do, and they actually capped it. 82% remaining.
UCLA, let's go. That's exactly what we're going to see. But very interesting strategy that we're seeing from UCLA. Arizona State trying to get this point back as much as possible. They're just trickling on it here at this point. But, actually, Spades, wow, getting a pick onto Pip. Juggernaut, slow down, dude. Man, popping off is that Roadhog right now, getting so many picks. But UCLA is going to be able to hold
right there, popping that, immediately countered by Juggernaut and hooked down. Chrono Dota, however, is capitalizing on the opportunity that was given him. 4 members are down for UCLA just barely as Sareku dies on Orisa, and that's going to be it. I think Arizona is actually going to be able to retake it with only 30% down for UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA needs to continue that strategy. It's very interesting to see what they're doing. You see them all come in as a group. They all get onto the point, and they don't let Arizona State, They don't let them fight outside of the point. They make them fight inside of that very close space. So it forces everybody to kind of come back, and that's how we saw UCLA take that point back. Now they're just contesting it here in overtime. And, you know, Amadian sitting here in the back line.
Great work right there. Fluffing another pulse bomb,
Not sure where that pulse bomb came from.
And that's a clean sweep for Arizona. 100-28 cap right there. Great work. Great work. Do you know what would have been good right there for UCLA? Against Chrono Dota and Spades? Reaper. Reaper would have been good.
Oh, not Kappa.
Oh. Reaper would have been good because he switched off Pharah. Why not just go Reaper? I mean, I love the character. He's one of my favorites, but...
You know, I don't like Reaper. Because people who know how to play him don't die.
Yeah, I mean, specifically for the Lighthouse map, everybody's in that enclosed position. It's got walls, it's got barriers, it's got a whole bunch of situations where Reaper can get in close range and stay in close range with his lifesteal healing. Yep. He can put damage into the D.Va, pop the defense matrix, you know, really bait out stuff right there, and he is the hardest counter in the game in existence to Winston, and Winston seems to be the favored tank for Arizona State rather. Chrono Dota specifically, he's been running Winston, and then some more Winston, and then when Winston falters, he decides to run Winston.
Look at this UCLA composition, running the boop and the boop and the boop and the boop.
Yeah, and the yoink and the
boop and the yoink
terrible.
And the yoink
Jumped
and the
on Pharah. I like the pick. This is one of the better locations for Pharah. You can knock people into the well. It's a little bit more difficult to do, requires a lot more skill. But as you can see, Chumcha is just raining terror on the tanks. But it seems...
Oh, Saraku!
Ooh. Close, man. Close. He's at 53% ultimate charge with direct hit after direct hit. Great work from Chumcha. Once again, that seems to be the theme of ASU, is just Chumcha popping
UCLA
off.
doing a very good job sitting on the point, though. Taking the point first. Kind of holding ASU back. It's not what we want to see from ASU. ASU needs to get on the point. They need to not let him get pushed up on this. But Chumcha coming in already with
Raxa falls. Saraku falls. Two people, and Chris boops Juggernaut into the well. Or
not
no,
even into the well. He just booped him. He hit him with that sound so hard that he just decided to die.
He just screams at him.
Die! Hey! Dead. Done. That's it.
UCLA only getting 16%.
Only getting 16%. But that's an extra 16% that they may not have had.
With the exception of Saraku, UCLA, they're all getting close to 100%. Arizona State as well, with the exception of Chumcha. And Amadian just dropping that full spot, and he kills Pip.
Yeah, there it is.
Raxa, however, takes out DJ Dobro. Without that Mercy, Pharah is not as viable. This is going to be their opportunity as he now has his High Noon ultimate right there. Deadeye coming out, and Chumcha falls. They're going to have to take the point right now, UCLA. However, they've got 3 members down, and Raxa dies as well.
Yeah,
it's 1-4.
UCLA really didn't have very much of a team members there. Arizona State doing a really good job, kind of sitting on the point and picking him off. Now they're pushing him up into spawn, providing a lot of pressure, not really letting him push up, having to sit back a little bit more. Amadian doing a really good job as this Tracer playing the
Amadian guy plays a lot like ADHD. No, he doesn't.
Kappa.
ADHD is actually good.
Kappa. Big memes in the chat, guys. Big memes roasting Amadian.
Amadian diving in there, fluffing another post bomb, unfortunately.
It's okay, Amadian. We love you, even though chat apparently doesn't.
Pip trying his best to move on to the point. 65% for Arizona State. Pip falling dangerously low, and Spades picks him up with that self-destruct ultimate. Great work from Arizona State. It's now 5-1. Or 6-5 rather.
I don't know, UCLA. Gotta have an answer to this Pharah. They haven't answered her at all yet. Grax has been getting taken out way too much, and that bridge just taken every single rocket that had ever existed.
They're pushing him back into the spawn. This is you don't want to see this from UCLA.
This is falling. This is bad. This kid, they are one down. I have no idea what Chumcha does with his camera. I don't know what that movement is. Oh.
To a Deadeye. He popped High Noon. They've got 5%. You have to get on the point right now. Tracer on Pip is getting
low.
They're
going for it. Ooh. They're going to get the point. They're going to get the point. Oh, nope. Spades says you are McCree and I am small little
contested. It's contested.
Also has mech here. ASU has the upper hand. Maybe not. Never mind. I was wrong.
I don't see UCLA making a 3-0 comeback in any sense of the word. I see Arizona State capping it like 100%, maybe to 30 if they get it back. But you know, don't want to count them out quite yet. UCLA can still make some shenanigans happen.
Juggernaut sitting on that Roadhog, staying alive. That's what a good Roadhog does. Just stays alive. Chumcha looking for those direct hits. Booping Juggernaut off, maybe? No, Juggernaut getting very close. Hooking Chrono Dota. Not the person you want to hook though. Monkeys can jump. Monkey's got some serious air time.
So long.
But this overtime hold is really, really nice. Saraku popping that D.Va bomb. Really key here. If he picks up Chris, nope, not able to pick up Chris. Chris having a really good movement there.
Chumcha doing his best. Just, I mean, I don't even, there you go.
Chumcha, calm down your camera movement, man. What is this?
You saw me playing StarCraft earlier. That sensitivity is
I know, he like
the pro gamer sensitivity.
Chumcha just sits here. He turns his DPI to like
He
5600 and just like swipes his mouse pad across the floor apparently and just like spins around in 10-180.
Chris, we're gonna see the boops.
Coming on with the boops. Boop. Boop.
Oh, Chris, right there.
Boop.
Oh, boop. Another Dex and Pip immediately go down.
Is he gonna break it down too?
Nope. He's just gonna manner it. That clean sweep. Raxa is to UCLA as Chumcha is to ASU. Like, this was supposed to be the game to watch. ASU coming out with the great memes, you know, showing us that they are still in charge, in command and in charge. The manner swing from Chumcha.
Yeah,
at the very
Chumcha
end.
having some really odd camera move.
Interesting. He knows we're watching him.
Yeah, you know we're watching you, Chumcha, and your camera is just all over the place, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, he
I
can
don't
pull
know
it
how.
off.
I don't know
If he
how.
pulls it off, he's got the 360 Farah no scopes.
You know, I'd like to see if we were
XX
gonna
triple X Chumcha XX.
if we're gonna start having fun like that. Have your Roadhog turn on his
Oh.
DPI really high and just start swinging.
That's crazy.
I love when Roadhogs do that.
UCLA was very convincing for the first two maps on Kings Row specifically. They were able to take it, not able to push the payload far enough though, and then we did go to the tiebreaker in Temple of Anubis, and they got kerfluffled.
Kerfluffled.
They got
Kerfluffle coming in. You're not even playing.
Not even
and
on
you're
the
being
team.
referenced.
But
Let's
yeah,
go.
Yeah, no. So they just got stomped. They got stomped a little bit, unfortunately, at the very end. Unfortunately, there, on Temple of Anubis, the dive composition from ASU was so strong, so powerful. And then here on Ilios, with the well and the lighthouse maps right there, seem to favor ASU. Chumcha is just like I've talked up Raxa as debatably the best player in this tournament right now, and Chumcha just, you know,
It's Chumcha.
I'm trying to make
Chumcha.
like I'm trying to keep it clean, but you know it's hard not to right now. there's some I'm just gonna change of subject. Chumcha is a fantastic player. He's phenomenal, and we love him. Despite how good Raxa is and how good he's shown us, Chumcha is definitely up there in contestation for the #1 player in this tournament, and he definitely highlighted that today by 1v1ing Raxa multiple times. Your thoughts?
Multiple times. I don't know. ASU convincing win.
Convincing.
Honestly, I knew ASU was going to come out on top of this, but a lot more convincing than I thought. I wanted to see UCLA maybe play a little bit better, but who knows? Everybody has roster changes. If UCLA wants to make roster changes, they can.
We've had
If
hints
they
of
don't,
that.
if they don't want to make roster changes, they don't have to. But a lot of the teams making roster changes, so if UCLA feels
Oregon
like something's not
specifically.
working, they can switch. If Arizona State feels like something's not working like ADHD,
Goodbye.
we've seen ADHD
You've
just
been
drop off the
replaced-
face of the
You've
earth.
been replaced by Adian, who refuses to land a pole spot.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
He
you got to
landed
work
when
on
he,
those
when he needed to
sticks.
land it. He did. When he needed to land it, he did. Which
Pretty
is
sure he
important.
stuck a tire. I'm pretty sure. No, wait. Was that the first game?
I am going to go back on Twitch and rewatch this, and I'll text you what happened because I could have
I'm
sworn
pretty sure
hit the
he
wall.
stuck a tire. Because if he would have, I thought he stuck Pip.
I
But
don't
he
even
didn't.
think you
I
can
heard
stick
the stick though.
tires.
I heard like the little. You can hear it. It's like a clicking sound when it sticks.
It does that when it hits walls. I promise. It does that when it hits walls. And I don't. We're gonna go get in a. We're gonna go home and get in a private game right now, and we're gonna see if you can actually stick Junkrat tires. Because I'm not sure if you can. That would be so awesome if you could though. Because if you could like stick it on an ally's Junkrat tire and then like run it into the enemy team. That would be crazy.
New tactics.
New
Inbound.
tactics, 2018 strats, fam. Okay. We're going to move on to our solo payload map. Game 4, ASU has already won 3-0. 3-0. It's a stomping. That happened. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the final map, which is going to be Route 66.
Route 66. I love this map.
It's
a pretty map.
interesting. It's
a pretty
interesting in the fact that it's
like
enormous.
It is absolutely huge. But it's also very open. It's very
Because
straight.
it's huge. Yeah.
It's very open. It's very straightforward. You know where you're going. You know what you're doing. You know what your flank opportunities are. You know how to counter those flank opportunities. Very. I think this is a very skill-based map. I think this one comes down to skill and less map knowledge and less like practice of. Honestly, I think this. Map goes.
You're absolutely right there, Zader. This map comes down to individual player skill because it's huge. You're going to be finding yourself in 1v1 situations. You're going to find Mercies versus Tracers. You're going to see Zenyatta's versus Winstons. Like everything's going to go down on this map right now. Just because when you move out across that first little archway with the payload, it's just wide open skies. Everything happens on Route 66. Pharaohs, Protect the President compositions, Torbjorn only compositions, 222, triple tank, quadra tank, septuple tank, as we've seen.
Never know what you're going to see. But Route 66. Beautiful map. Beautiful.
I think it's the second map. Because there's Hollywood and Route 66. There are only 2 American ones. I think. Could be wrong.
I have no idea, honestly. Does the moon count as America?
Technically, America did put the flag on the moon, so I would put Horizon Lunar Colony as an America map, so I stand corrected. There's 3 for the USA. USA, okay. Raxa, gonna be taking the Widowmaker pick right now. Great line of sight opportunities here for him on the offense. Moving across the right side, gonna look on the high ground immediately, but Chronodota's got his shield prepared. They're all ready for it. Ult charges coming out on both sides.
Sitting in the back as Tracer.
Amadian with the non-flanking Tracer, 2018. Pip getting hooked in the back, but he doesn't die.
Yeah. Blinks out of that one. Does a really good job. Raxa getting the air time, looking for an airhead shot, not able to find it. Chumcha getting right in there on the team. Arizona State wasting no time pushing UCLA back.
Chumcha is playing Roadhog? Chumcha's playing Roadhog.
I think they're playing triple tank. That's why.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Anyways, clean sweep from Arizona State as UCLA gets stomped.
Arizona State saying that triple tank still works.
Triple tank,
counter
take
that.
my energy. UCLA, take my energy. Oh, I love that meme.
If you want to win against triple tank, you got to play triple tank. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, I know there are things that can win triple tank, but my personal opinion is just you just win. And there we go, Pip switching to Reaper.
I called it. I'm a freaking Oracle, man. Like, I say they need to take Reaper. Pip immediately switches off to Reaper. I don't think that's a character we've seen in UCLA's
pushed up a little bit too far there.
Oh, Coalescence popping out right there from Arizona State, and it seems to be doing all the work that it needs to as Amadian actually lands a Pulse Bomb on Sang, and Spades cleans up with some headshots,
heavy roast onto Amadian there. Actually landing a Pulse Bomb.
He landed one. It worked. It's hard. I have absolute sympathy to Amadian, like every sense of the word. He's so good when it comes to positionally being where he needs to be, focusing targets, distracting people. He's a great tracer.
Woo!
I'm just
Fat Hammer, Chronodota, hammer from behind. Pip, Raxa, don't die. There you go. Good save. Good save. Arizona State still holding UCLA there in spawn, not really letting him get anywhere. I don't know. I think this one's going to go to Arizona State as well.
If I had to predict, I would say Arizona State's going to come out on top right here. Hate to, a one-sided cast, but if it's a one-sided match, it is what it is. UCLA, we need to see them be a little bit more convincing. It seems like Raxa just seems to be, demoralized a little bit after the first couple of matches when they just lost by such close margins. Arizona State, however, they've got the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? They've got the momentum. Haha, momentum. They've got the momentum. Arizona State.
I couldn't even know what you were looking for there. I was just lost.
It's hard.
Hey, Amadian, look at that.
Pop
triple kill.
Or should I say Pippin off.
Pip.
At UCLA's Pip. Amadian right there doing some good job. He's actually one of the 3 members on his team that is on fire. So great work from Amadian right there. DJ Dobro is going to be holding the Coalescence for when he needs it. A better time than now.
I want to see the triple tank against the triple tank.
I want to see.
I really think that's one of the only ways to counter this triple tank. There's just such a big health pool that you need to have a big health pool too. Raxa picking up DJ Dobro though. Very good. Chumcha switching off the Roadhog. They're actually not even doing triple tank anymore. Chumcha switching onto the Widowmaker. Looking for Pip. Everyone's looking for Pip. Pip looking for others. And that actually, UCLA got on the point there for a second.
Slowly getting pushed back to its initial start zone though, as Sang takes out Chumcha.
UCLA getting the push. Looks like Arizona State slowly trickled down and died, as we were talking about Chumcha switching to Widowmaker and not being triple tank anymore. But I don't know if they really have enough time. I think Arizona State's going to have enough time to group up here. Most likely stop this push from UCLA, unless UCLA pulls out some greatness
shenanigans.
Here. They need to have some real good shenanigans. Juggernaut staying up in the front line, taking a lot of damage, getting very low.
Sareku, he lands the Pulse Bomb on Sang, and that's going to halter the push right there. Chris gets out a headshot on another Dex, and Amadian 1v1's Raxa.
Or like, how's ADHD looking now?
Chris 1v1's Raxa. And then Madian gets a, that's just everyone for Arizona State. Just hats off to you guys. I'm clapping. You can't see it, but I'm clapping for you guys, Arizona State. That was
Wait for the camera.
Great job. We're going to
wait for it.
There we go.
Ah.
There we go. There you go, Arizona. Take it. You deserve it.
UCLA. Let's see what they can do with their defense. But
I mean,
I don't know. That's going to be pretty. You're going to have a hard defense. But
you can
never know what happens.
You can tell that UCLA, this just boils down to their mentality, their morality, how they're talking, how they're communicating, their positivity or lack thereof. They were really, really strong. They did what they needed to do. It looked like we were going to have the closest matches ever on Kings Row Station, as it was back and forth, back and forth. Same thing on Temple of Anubis, actually going into the tiebreaker round. And then once they lost both of them, they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to take 3 points against them. And then they just lost all hope. They gave up. At least that's what it seems like from my point of view. Still doing a good job was Raxa taking Hanzo.
I don't think they gave up.
It seemed.
I just think that, you know, I wouldn't like to say anybody gives up.
Yeah.
Shanghai Dragon still hasn't given up.
You're right.
They're still going.
They were still trying, but they could have been trying harder. That's a better way to phrase it. It's not fair of me to say that they gave up, but they could have been doing better. That's blatantly obvious to everyone
definitely could
watching.
be doing better. We've seen better from UCLA, and
they're undefeated in this tournament, just barely going down, taking their first loss to ASU. ASU remaining undefeated. I think this is their second match that has actually counted. They beat Stanford. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think they're 2-0. I think they're 2-0.
I believe so as well.
Yeah.
I think they no.
We have to memorize a lot of things. Don't harass us, you know. ASU, they're probably going to be in the top 3 right now because they just defeated UCLA, who's currently in that 3rd spot. Looks like UCLA going to be protecting the president.
Okay.
I like the no healer or a solo healer from another deck. Raxa on Hanzo.
I don't. I mean, they know they're there now.
Yeah, they see the.
I mean,
the sound
Sonic arrow came in and
Sonic.
I mean, I don't know how this is looking for UCLA. They got caught. They got caught.
Chris takes out Juggernaut with that scatter arrow. Raxa counters on Chrono Dota and a Madian. Chumchai Latte, my man, he is doing work after he's putting in work on the farm, man. A Madian as well, showing us his true colors.
I mean,
a clean sweep.
A Madian. Good job. UCLA. I'm not sure what that was.
Popping a squat on the payload right there. A Madian 1v1 me Tracer ban.
I'm not 100% sure what that was from UCLA.
This game in ages.
I didn't.
This is some fun casting that we've got going on. Arizona State, 53% ult charge from Chris, almost 100% for Madian. UCLA is going to have to try their best. Dropping the Maywall is Chumcha right there, moving it onto the point right there.
I mean,
just got a couple more
it's
inches.
going to the payload.
Not contested.
They're not contesting it. That's
GG.
it. Arizona State going 4-0
with the Raffle Stomp.
UCLA. I don't know what their tactic was there. I think they could have played a safer defense, but
it's the 4th game. I mean, they're just trying to have fun.
I think everyone's just trying to have fun at this point.
It was fun. Fun for us, fun for them, I hope. I had a fantastic time casting these 2 games. The first 2 matches were probably the most tense, next to maybe Oregon and USC that we saw last week. So I am so happy to see these teams go head-to-head. Arizona State, however, coming out on top and well-deserved victories. 3-0, now 4-0 sweep against them.
I mean, that's it. Arizona State coming out strong. Definitely one of the best teams in the tournament.
Yep. Chumcha, one of the best players in the tournament. We didn't have a good opportunity to see how he fared against some of the higher tier players like Daddy J or, you know.
Well, he fares well against Daddy J.
We saw him go against Daddy J and he clapped him a little bit. But we saw him go up against Raxa and Pip, who have historically been the dangerous duo, the people that have just been the unstoppable force against immovable defenses. Like, they have just been nearly seamlessly perfect, and Chumcha just
Chumcha coming out from the dark saying, I can play Sombra. I was a Sombra main before she was strong.
Sombra, like, I'm so surprised that she's actually coming back so strong.
This guy doesn't play competitive Overwatch anymore, so
no.
He doesn't know. He didn't know the power. He didn't know the power of the Sombra.
I have historically hated Sombra with every fiber of my being, just because previously she was just bad Tracer. Like, that's literally all you could do to describe her as. She was just bad Tracer. Like, oh, but EMP is so good. You can't use your ultimates if you're dead because Tracer pulse bombed you. Like, was historically how it worked out. Now, Sombra's an actual thing that, you know, can stand alone and be an offensive character, not a glorified support. Like, I love that change. props to Jeff Kaplan on that one.
However, she's a little bit too strong right now.
A little bit. She is OP.
Her hack is fast. Her
Too
hack
fast.
comes back fast.
You can perma-hack.
Yeah, you can almost perma-hack, and then, I mean, everyone is now useless against hack. But
Everyone's
they also
useless.
buffed May.
The
in
May
a
buff.
way,
I love it.
and they buffed Doomfist as well. And that's why you see a little bit more Doomfist
I don't
there.
think Doomfist is that.
I think he's strong as long as you know how to play him.
Yeah, he can.
But you see him a lot in the last defense, in the final stages of a defense.
'Cause he can stay
in
alive.
a lot of overtime because he can stay alive,
Gets
and he
those
can get back to the
shields.
point pretty quickly too. He definitely does a lot of damage, and he can focus out targets.
I think the damage conversion from Reaper getting health back with his shooting versus Doomfist landing abilities and getting his shields from it, I think actually Doomfist has higher sustainability than Reaper does, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, as long as you're timing your abilities right, and as
And
long as
actually
you're
landing
hitting,
them.
yeah, if
Actually
you're hitting your
landing them.
abilities, your
With Reaper, it's
sustainability.
like general direction, and I'm healing. Like, let me just look at you and I'll heal.
How you doing?
Pop it off.
This is all you see all day. Is like
Yeah.
your guns
He
just
just
doing
throws his
this,
guns
and then you just throw them away.
Let's
and
go
then more of
ahead and
this.
take a
But
look at
standings.
the standings. The
Yeah.
rankings.
Rankings, not standings. Same thing, I guess.
Arizona State, after taking down UCLA in formidable strength, have now secured themselves in the 3rd spot. University of Utah, undefeated thus far in their own division. However, we have seen them lose to Arizona State. So
But that's a separate division. So
separate division, and that was a show match, so it doesn't count. Utah 3-0, Arizona State 1-0. Great teams. All of these people have just been so strong. Colorado, interesting up there. They are one of the more average SR teams, but they have still shown that they are more than capable of overcoming SR gaps as they have beaten some pretty formidable teams.
yeah, Colorado.
Well deserving of that 2nd spot.
Yes, for sure. Colorado. Definitely, we're starting to see top 3 teams here. Obviously,
I
showing
think
now.
it's
I think
I
they're
think
there.
they're the proper
I
top
think
3
they're there.
teams.
I think they're there. Colorado did a really good job.
Who do you think are going to be coming down? The finals, the grand finals, the top 2. Who do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, I'd like to say, more bias. Ready for the bias? I'd like to see Utah come out on top. Bias. But at the same time, I think ASU can pull this off too.
I think
those two
Well,
teams. I think those two teams, regardless, I think those are going to be the
I'm
finals.
not sure how the brackets are going to play out, whether or not USC and ASU are going to be on the same side of the bracket. But I think UCLA. Whether UCLA or ASU. My bad to all the
I think
USC fans. Whether
UCLA
UCLA and ASU, if they are going to be on the same side of the bracket,
I think they are on the same side.
I'm not sure who's going to come out on top, because if they can
They
get
can
their stuff
improve.
together,
They can do more.
they can slaughter. So I'm actually, I'm a big UCLA fan. I wasn't coming into this, but at the start of the PACG tournament, I've just become a really big UCLA fan. ASU as well. I feel like ASU currently is the more powerful of the 2 teams, but I think UCLA has room to come back and actually beat them. I assume University of Utah is going to be taking the North Division, so it's going to come down to University of Utah versus either ASU or UCLA in the grand finals. Those are my predictions.
I think your predictions are correct. I'd like to agree with you.
Those are my predictions.
But predictions are predictions.
It's upsets have
Everything
always
can
happened.
change.
They've always happened.
We've seen Oregon become a lot stronger of a
Oregon,
team. We've
yep.
seen Colorado become a lot stronger of a team as well. Predictions are predictions. But
That's been it.
that is it for tonight. It's late.
It's been so much fun casting this for you guys. It's been great to just be able to relax, cast some fun Overwatch for you guys. I have been Seth, White Ninja. I have just had a phenomenal time. Last
Yeah.
things to say, Zader?
I'm Zader, Xander. You can catch me on Twitch,
Follow him
Zader.
on Twitch.
You can follow me on Twitch.
Twitter. My Twitter,
Hashtag,
my that
It's
one
not
right
official Zader on Twitch.
My-
It's just Zader.
there. My Twitter is fake, so if you try and follow me, nothing's going to happen.
My Twitter's real though, and it's
His
right.
Twitter's
It's right.
Go follow Zader.
It's right there.
Final,
Yeah, you can go and follow me on Twitter. Blah blah blah.
Final things-
Zader on everything else.
Final things before we sign off. As always, I would like to give a phenomenal shout out to our production team. They do such a great job. We all work tirelessly to bring the PACG to you guys, to legitimize collegiate esports, and thank all of you guys in Twitch chat, of the players, of the production teams, for all of the individual schools of coming through and really making a stand and saying that, collegiate esports is an actual thing. We are not to be downplayed by anyone. Like, we are going to be here to stay, and I am so happy to see collegiate esports grow on all of our backs. Everybody, give yourself a pat on the back. Just by watching this, you guys are supporting collegiate esports, and, not necessarily TESPA, but the PACG in and of itself, Pacific Alliance of Collegiate Gamers. This has been our Week 5 Overwatch broadcast.
Week 5. 3 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace.